In the status quo, there are many environmental issues such as acid rain, air pollution, and water pollution. However, these things are all issues that will bring out a bad outcome in a long-term view. If you think about it, there is no issue that acts as an immediate danger right now to the world besides landmines. So, I talked about how landmines is a very imminent threat to the world, but what exactly is the landmine problem? First of all, landmine explosions are causing many casualties in the world every year. As you can see in the graph on the left side, 3,030 adults have died by landmines, 1,184 children have died by landmines, and 983 unknown deaths have happened because of landmines. And why is it to our concern, residents of South Korea's concern? It is because our neighbors of the north are a country that does not give up landmines and are continuously planting more in the DMZ. So where are the general landmine population? So we can't really pinpoint one location where landmines are, since landmines are scattered all over the world. The red countries in this diagram are the countries affected by landmines and have landmines on their soil. And the area or region with the most landmines planted is the Middle East, because there are a lot of skirmishes and war going on. Now, as I've said before, the DMZ is one of the most concentrated landmine area, because our northern neighbor is one of the countries that still does not give up landmines. Now, what is the source and where do these landmines actually come from? Now, these landmines are an outcome of war. When two countries fight each other, they need to use as many military resources as they can, and landmines are one of these military weapons. And therefore, many countries build them in order to overpower their enemy team. And who is planting these landmines, and where are these landmines actually coming from? It is war-torn countries, basically, such as a lot in the Middle East, or Somalia, or obviously North Korea and the DMZ. And therefore, so who causes this problem is basically the war-torn countries of the world. The level of the problem is fairly serious, since about 15,000 to 20,000 innocent people die every year from landmines. Even when there are many casualties, many countries have still not given up on landmines and are continuously planting more. And in order to tackle this issue, countries must sign the landmine ban treaty and try to disarm existent landmines. And landmines poses an extreme threat to the living systems, since it is able to create a dangerous environment for the living organisms that are living in the area. Because of the stealthy manner of landmines, living species will not be able to avoid this threat and could be randomly killed. Therefore, for many organisms that are unaware of the existence of landmines, landmines are an inevitable threat. Currently, there are many actions done to get rid of landmines, such as active protest against the governments to stop planting landmines and a call for action to the government to remove these landmines. The ICBL, or the International Campaign to Ban Landmines, acts as the spearhead of the anti-landmine movement by carrying out organized protests and deals with governments in order to resolve this landmine issue. There's one ultimate solution to this issue: a treaty.
If all countries agree on the mine ban treaty that prohibits countries from planting landmines, there will be no additional landmines planted. If there is no additional threatening factor, all we have to do is remove the remaining landmines. The real problem is that the number of landmines keeps increasing regardless of the removal of the existent landmines. Some example of people trying to get others to be aware of this issue is the international campaign to ban landmines. As I said before, the international campaign to ban landmines acts as a spearhead of the anti-landmine movement, and they are they're carrying out major persuasions with the government and creating like a website in order to advertise what is happening and the issue itself. And they also have handed out brochures and created posters in order to kind of promote the anti-landmine movement and build a basic knowledge for the citizens on this issue itself. There is no really practical thing anyone can do to solve this issue, since removing landmines are very dangerous and should be done by governments or government-approved groups. Some minor things people can do to help this movement is to join the ICBL, like I said, the International Campaign to Ban Landmines, and actually try to actively persuade countries to sign the treaty. Or you can just help by staying away from endangered zones to minimize those innocent casualties that has been continuously happening. Besides from this, you can try to raise the awareness of this issue and tell your surroundings about what is actually happening regarding landmines. Because the more people you get of this anti-landmine movement, the more the government and the high officials will listen to you. So basically, some actions commoners can do in order to heighten the awareness is to tell others about the problem itself, like from year to year, and or showing them the ICBL homepage. And the ICBL site, which I went to the first time I started researching, gives you a basic walkthrough of all the issue and has in-depth content about specific factors of the problem. So in all, the landmine issue isn't something commoners can actively participate on and actively remove, but it is something where people should tell others about and raise the awareness so the governments will listen to the civilians and the anti-landmine movement more. In all, we, the citizens of Earth, must try to raise the awareness of this issue and try to negotiate with governments to stop implanting landmines and try to get rid of all the existing landmines in the world. I believe that by doing this, we will be able to get one step closer to the achievement of global peace, and one environmental issue will be solved. Thank you.